Hi, I'm back. Okay, what I wanted to talk about is it better to speak or to die? And that's something that I've always thought about and asked people or talked to people about. I've even talked to my therapist about this. Is it better to speak or to die? And it I feel like it used to be so easy for me to answer. I used to be like, die. Die, 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 die. Immediately death. I don't want to speak. But I think I would say that because speaking is so hard and it can, you can regret speaking, really easily, so quick. And you can look back on it and be like, I wish I never said that. I do that a lot. I'm like, I wish I never said anything I said to this person. I wish they never got that from me. I wish they never got my words. And I would be like, it would just be better if I didn't tell anyone anything. But I'm such a person that has to tell people things. I want to tell people things because I want to be understood. I want to be not looked over like I usually am. I don't want people to misunderstand how I feel and be like, she probably feels like she probably hates me. And I'm over here wanting to tell them, I love you, I care about you, I don't hate you. I'm just bad at talking sometimes. And I would just easily pick die because death is fine. Death is fine for me. I'm used to death. And I would be like, speaking is death anyways. Speaking is like dying. I don't know. It's so hard. It's like such a question. Such a question that, as me, someone who overthinks so heavily, I overthink everything. I overthink what I had for breakfast. Maybe I shouldn't eat that. And then maybe I'll get sick from this. Or if I do get sick, I'm like, oh my God, what did I have yesterday? It's probably from that. I haven't had that in a long time. Maybe I'm allergic to it. Maybe I'm going to die from it. I'm such an overthinker that answering a question like this is hard now because I'm going in depth on what it could mean, what it could do. Speaking could do this and that, and dying could do this and that. I don't know what I would pick anymore. Now that I have someone that I can talk to about everything, and that I do talk about mostly everything with, do I still choose to die? Would I choose to die? Maybe I picked dying because it was more comforting to die. And maybe now I might choose speak because it's comforting to speak. It's comforting to have people listen to what you have to say and to understand what you mean and what you're getting at. Maybe that's why. Maybe me overthinking is because I'm overthinking, what if they don't understand what I'm getting at? What if they don't think the same I think? What if they think I'm dumb for saying this? What if they were fine until I said this? I have a lot of people in my life that I'm like, I tell really deep thoughts to, and they say, I understand you completely. And I'm like, it makes me feel so much better. I can't, it used to be so hard for me to talk to people until people started talking to me. And I love when people talk to me. I love when people tell me what they're thinking. And when they tell me what they're thinking, I feel relief. So obviously that's probably how people feel with me. And it's so hard for me to speak because I'm not used to speaking. I'm used to hiding how I feel and just letting it kabloom in my face, letting it explode in my face. I think I wrote a little bit about it too. Hold on. Okay, this is my prompt journal. I write prompts in here and I write about it. And I wrote about, is it better to speak or to die? I said, I believe it's just better and easier to die. Speaking is so hard, too hard. I've been trying to say how I feel lately. Even when I say those things, it always haunts me. Everything feels like dying. Saying I love you feels like dying. To speak is to die. Why choose the harder option to death when you can go to the easier route? Sometimes I'd rather just become mute my entire life. I hate being vulnerable with people, especially when what I say is something they disagree with or make them feel so distant. Death is just the easier route. And then I wrote more. I'd rather just die and be surprised when you find out what I've almost or thought about saying and said. Then you rethink how you've treated me. You'll want to speak to me, but I'm dead and you'll never get to again. I owe no one anything. I owe everyone nothing. So why would I make myself uncomfortable by telling someone I love them when I know they'll leave? I can't do that. Sometimes they don't even deserve my time. My death could also not even matter to them as theirs would to me. They never grieve, and I would grieve until my heart goes flat and my brain shuts down. I'm used to sitting with my feelings. I'm used to closing my mouth and letting things happen. I'm used to only having my feelings and words being kept to myself. This was March. And now I feel so, not so completely different than from what I said, but different from what I said. I feel like I was just being a scared little girl who didn't want to say anything, who wouldn't say anything. And now that I've broken some barriers, I've broken out of my comfort zone in a way. And I've spoken with people and I've said things that I would have never told them before. And now I feel like I'm not that uncomfortable with it. And even when I'm uncomfortable with it, if I get to the point where I do say what I was going to say, it feels kind of like a relief, especially because they're so supportive and they're like, thank you, that was good. That actually made me feel better. And them making them feel better just makes me completely forget that I was so vulnerable with them and they could have just crushed me. But they didn't. They helped my flowers bloom and they helped me feel more comfortable with it. Is it better to speak or to die? Is it better to speak or to die? That's such a crazy thing to say. And I know I don't remember what it actually is from, but I do know Call Me by Your Name. It's so, I have a lot of words about it and it's so hard to say them because I can't grasp all of them one by one. I just want to grasp all of them at once, but then I'm just gonna blah blah. I'm just gonna be dumb. I literally have it on my bed frame. Is it better to speak or to die? I don't remember what he chose, what the guy in the book chose. I'm pretty sure he chose death. I don't know. But I know that Elio was like, I don't think I'll ever be able to, or I'll never be, I don't remember exactly. It's been a while since I've seen the movie and read the book. But it's such that moment in the movie opened my eyes a lot more. That movie is so good and the book is so good. And it's not just oh, gay guys, blah, 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 like most people are like. Most people are like, ew, this movie's gross because there's an age gap. Or, ew, this movie's gross because there's so much intimacy and sexual stuff. I think it's beautiful because of that. I think the intimacy, I know now I'm just talking about the movie, but I think the intimacy in it is just so breathtaking, and the fact that they were so vulnerable with each other and they showed every side of them that they could show, even though Elio still had feelings that he didn't speak on. It broke them both out of their comfort zones, and that made him long for him more. it made him think about him for the rest of his life. Because you don't really get a connection like that from people. You don't have people just speaking. You don't have people showing their true selves. You don't have people revealing their rib cage and letting you do whatever you want to it. You don't meet that many people. I don't. There's not that many people out there in the world like that because everyone's so scared of what other people think. Everyone's so scared about what people could do to them. Which, yeah, it is a scary world. People can do crazy things to each other. People do crazy things. People do crazy things to each other. And that's why everyone isn't so desensitized to being vulnerable. Everyone's a timid dog, and they just want to be a part of the wolf pack, but it's so hard to become part of that wolf pack. And you meet people, and then you feel like they're not a wolf pack, but they're their own pack of dogs. Like, I've met very few people who I've immediately had a connection with. And that's sad. I want more people. Like, I feel like I'm usually the person who is immediately comfortable with people because I love people. I love thinking about people and what's in their brains. And I feel like so many people are so scared of what other people think. They're so shy that they're not gonna immediately break out of their comfort zone. Which is crazy because when you look at, like, your closest friends, and you're like, how did we even become this? How did we start talking about our relationship with our partners? How did we start talking about how the world works? How did we get to this comfort zone? But it's like, because I don't know. And there's some people you've known for years and years and years, and you've never, like, had an actual conversation with them that means something, that you look back on. And then you kind of forget about them because of that. Because you haven't had this breaking moment with people. Because people are breaking moments. And when someone shares or does something that makes you more comfortable with them, then you guys are going to talk more. Then you guys are going to share everything. Maybe not everything, but, like, if you get to that closeness, you could share everything. Like, me and my best friend, shout out her. We, like, immediately clicked. Because even though she says she's shy, I feel like she's not shy enough for that. And we've known each other, kinda. But once we had that, like, first it was like the humor and stuff, and we started laughing and joking, and then we started talking more. And I think she was the one who started, like, actually having deep conversations with me, and I love deep conversations, but it's so hard for me to start them because I'm scared the other person's gonna be like, what is this chick talking about? What is she saying? What is she spewing out of her mouth? I don't want to hear this baloney, balagna. But me and her, we immediately started talking, and we both started speaking. We didn't die. And I don't think I've ever died with her. I don't think anything I've said with her has been regret. I look back on what we talk about, and I'm like, wow, I'm so happy I can have this closeness with somebody, be able to talk about these things that I've never talked about with anybody. And now I can talk about it with other people because I said things. And now I feel like I'm more comfortable with my therapist talking to her. And now I feel like I'm more comfortable with my boyfriend and talking to him. Love you. But, like, ever since I met her, I feel like I've become a better person in the ways of, like, comforting other people and being there for other people. I was always too scared to be there for other people because what if they don't want me to be there? But now I'm fine with them not being there because at least I can have some sort of opening for them to want to talk to me, for them to want to be my friend. And I know there's people out there who don't like me or talk bad about me or say what my personality is annoying and dumb and I talk too much or I laugh too hard. But they're just I think they're just, like, showing their insecurities of not being able to speak. They're just deaf. They can't speak like I can speak now. They can't be open with people they barely know. They can't like be comfortable and not anxious, which I'm a very anxious person, but not socially. I think I've really squandered from that. Is squandered even a word anymore? I don't know. But I feel like, I don't know, like, I feel like when people are jealous of me, when people talk bad about me, my first instinct, my first thing I think of is, oh my God, I need to change who I am. I need to become a better person for them. I need them to like me. But then I'm like, no. Why should I care what they think? They could just be wanting to be like me, wanting to speak like me, and maybe they need that opening. But I'm not going to be the person to open that for them because they just talked bad about me. Why would I do that? I mean, I could, but it's going to be hard for me to talk to them, and it's going to be hard for them to talk to me because they've already established such hatred for me, and they've already talked to other people about not liking me. So now if they do start to like me, what do their words mean? It's so hard to change because you look back on what you've said or what you've done, and you're like, I don't want to not be that person. I don't want to have my words not make sense anymore. That's just how it is. That's what I do. I mean, I've leaned off of that. But there's sometimes where I'm like laying in bed and I'm like, I'm such a hypocrite. There was a point where I was really uncomfortable with something, and now I'm super comfortable with it. And it makes me feel like such a hypocrite. But then I'm like, no, I just broke myself out of there. I just spoke out of there. And that's also with speaking or dying. I spoke about it with that person, and the whole entire time, even when I was typing, I felt like I was dying. I felt like I knew I was going to regret it, and I did. I did regret it a lot, and I just felt really bad, and I wanted to die even more than I already was dying, with me looking back on that and being like, I wish I never said that, I wish I never done that. But now I don't. Now I'm like, okay, a little bit of me is still like, I wish I never said that. But now I'm like, I'm kind of happy that I said that, because if I didn't say that, then it could have kept happening, and I could have hated it because I didn't speak about it. And now that I've spoken about it, and now I'm actually like, I like it, now I'm happy that I did speak about it, because I got that relief back then. I'm not getting that relief now or in the future, because it, like, do you understand what I mean? Like, if I didn't speak about it at that moment, then I would have probably still hated it every time. And I would have been like, I wish I said something the first time. But now that I've spoken about it, and now that even like after every time I've liked it, I can look back and be like, I'm happy that I spoke about it then in that moment when I was feeling it. Sometimes I cannot say once I'm feeling something, because it's so hard. But that's why I have friends. That's why I have a really close friend that helps me do that, helps me become vulnerable to a person. And she has done that, and she has helped me a lot. And I really appreciate her. I really appreciate you. I don't know if you're watching this. Maybe I'll, okay. I'm just like talking to her now. But like, now it's easier for me to become vulnerable because I'm more so used to her helping me. And now that she's not, now when she doesn't help me, I'm like, okay, let's think about what she said. Let's think about how she helped me, how she talked me through it, and how I can easily do stuff. And I'm the type of person that really does want to say things once they feel it. And I do that. I said do again. Great. But like, I still, like, I say it. And I don't think I've ever regretted, okay, well, I used to regret it. But now I don't think I regret it, because it, like with my relationship, I say things pretty much immediately. Some things I don't say, and that makes me regret it. But once I do say things immediately, I'm like, I'm so happy I said this because he understands and he's not like, you're crazy, you're weird for this, I'm never talking to you again. He's like, I understand, I'm sorry if there needs to be an apology, or like, we immediately work through it because that's who I am. I don't want to sit in that. I don't want to sit in that bloodbath. I don't want to have my brain racking, oh my God, what are they thinking right now? I wonder what they're thinking. I wonder what they're doing. I wonder if they're going to block me right now. I wonder if they're never going to talk to me again. That's so dumb. I hate when that happens. So then I just tell them. And I'm like, okay, now they know what I'm thinking. So maybe it helps them too. I don't know. I mean, I can't be anybody else. What's that one movie? Like, I don't remember what the movie's called. But there's a movie where this one guy is somebody new every day. And I used to like really want to be that. I used to want to be someone new every day. But that's so hard because you still have the same brain. You're just in somebody else's body every day. Sometimes you want that escape from your body, but you can't. I mean, you can't do that. This is your body forever. Well, you're forever, meaning like not forever, but forever until you die. That's your forever. If you know what I mean. And I'm speaking right now. I feel like I have changed how I feel, how I think in the past couple months. That wasn't that long ago. And now I feel like it's still like 50-50 because I'm still going to like think about one and then it's going to go like that. And then I'll think about the other and it's going like that. So I think it's more so 50-50. But if I had to choose now, I mean, it does depend on what it is. But if I were to choose, if myself right then were looking at it, and myself in the future were looking at it, I would choose to speak. I would choose to speak in the moment. And if I don't, my future self would have wanted me. Would have is in the past. I don't know. I would look back and be like, I should have spoken. And now I feel like a hypocrite saying I should speak because I used to always say I would completely choose to die. I think I told my therapist that. I told my boyfriend that. I think I might have told my best friend that. Now I don't know. I don't think so. I think I would choose to speak now because speaking has so much power, and it's so much power that you don't even realize you have. Like with a compliment, that compliment could make someone's whole year. Could make someone, like, it can make someone look back on themselves. If you compliment someone, be like, I really like your smile, and they were like, wow, I really hate my smile. Maybe I should smile more because other people like my smile. And if you diss someone, what's the opposite of compliment? I still don't know. If you say something mean about someone and you say, ew, that your smile is gross, they're never going to open their mouth again. Unless they're like real, like they highly love themselves, which you don't find that around here anymore. But they'll probably hide their smile more. They'll hide it in pictures. They'll hide it when they're laughing with someone. You never know how words can affect people. And if you don't say anything, then you'll never know. They'll never know. Nobody will know what your words meant to them. That's like the same thing as if someone likes you in high school and you liked them, but you guys never told each other. And then years later, They text you and they're like, hey, I used to have a crush on you in high school. So weird, right? Haha. And you're like, oh my God, I used to like them too. We could be happy together. We could have a life together now. We could have been married. I think everyone should start speaking, even if it hurts them. Even if it hurts you, you should start speaking. Because hurt is just a feeling. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm trying to be like philosophical. I'm trying to have like, I don't know. But like, your words can mean so much to somebody. And I know I don't speak enough and I should speak more. It is hard. It's really hard. That's what she said. It's like, it's so hard to speak. And I know it's really hard to speak. But if you can muster up the courage to speak, then it'll be easier for you to speak. And you won't even realize once you said something that could have been hard to say in the past. You won't even realize. It's just like that. I don't think I have any more to say. I think my answer is to speak now. Okay, bye.